holiday, then followed by the start of 2021.
I said tell me something positive. Anyway, I'm glad all of you, well, most of you, kept up with your schoolwork. What else?
Having time to just take things a little slower.
Binge watching my favourite box sets.
Following Captain Tom during his amazing work for the AHS.
Ah, Captain Tom. What a hero and what a legacy he's left. Let's talk more about him later, shall we? So, what else made things bearable?
Not having to go to the hairdressers because they were closed. Result.
Yes, thank you. But on the flip side, what things did we struggle with?
My mum decided to cut my hair by herself. She made a right mess of it.
Ah, yes, I had noticed. Don't worry, it will grow back. What else?
Nothing left on the supermarket shelf from the first lockdown.
Watching my parents struggle with the business going.
Not being able to give my grandparents a hug, that was awful.
At times when we were a bit scared, we just had to stay close to people, yet so that we had to keep our distance.
Yet here we are, over the worst, we hope, and slowly getting back to normal. But it was tough for a while. Like I said, what a year it's been.
We rode a roller coaster, lost the plot there for a while. But even through the dark times, we found things to make us smile. A crazy situation, can't believe the things we've seen. Wow, what a year it's been! It started with a call to arms, everybody had to toe the line. Wash our hands and stay inside, enjoy some family time. As days turned into weeks, we had to show some self-control and focus all our efforts on the hunt for toilet roll. We rode the roller coaster, lost the plot there for a while. But even through the dark times, we found things to make us smile. A crazy situation, can't believe the things we've seen. Wow, what a year it's been! Our parents kept the school at home, really drove them up the wall. Granny's learning out of Zoom to make a conference call. We saw heroic deeds and everybody clapped along. To get behind the NHS and the plastic Captain Tom. We rode a roller coaster, lost the plot there for a while. But even through the dark times, we found things to make us smile. A crazy situation, can't believe the things we've seen. Wow, what a year it's been! Wow, what a year it's been! What a year it has been!
Okay then, let's rewind the clock back to March 2020. Who'd like to remind us what happened?
Well, with the cases of the COVID-19 virus increasing, to slow the spread and to stop the NHS being overwhelmed, we went into lockdown.
We were told to stay inside, not to socialise, to only go out for essential shopping and exercise, and to wash our hands a lot.
Restaurants, bars, theatres, cinemas, sports venues, shops and most offices were closed. People were told to work from home unless they were key workers.
But school stayed open for key worker children, but for the rest of us, it felt like summer holidays.
Yeah, but that didn't feel until last long, did it? Remember?
Of course.
Homeschooling.
I know I said I'd get that report written by last Friday. No, I'm not taking advantage of the working from home arrangements. Yes, I realise this isn't a holiday. Yes, I'll email it to you this afternoon. No, I won't watch Loose Woman and forget. Yes, I promise. Goodbye, Karen.
Mum, is this a subordinating conjunction or a coordinating conjunction? I think it's subordinating, but I'm not so sure.
Subordinating what? In my day, it was just nouns, verbs and adjectives we needed to know about. Let's have a look. Yes, Karen, of course, I'll spell check it. Yes, I know the directors will be reading it. No, it won't be full of grammatical mistakes like last time. Yes, Karen. No, Karen. You have a good day too, Karen. Goodbye. Now, a conjuncticating submarine, you say?
It's okay, Mum. I've done it. Right now I need to do history.
But it's my turn on the computer. It's not fair. Mum, tell him.
Hey now, what's with all that noise? I'm trying to sleep here, so please just keep it down a bit.
Sorry, Dad, but he's hogging the computer and I've got math to finish.
Yeah, right. You just want to play games on it.
Enough, right? You eat your cereal and you do your maths. What are you doing? Show me.
Long multiplication, but I'm really stuck on all these.
Let's see you're working out. What's all that Greek nonsense? Look, just stick a zero in that column, then times that by that, and times that by that, then add them up.
But why do you?
Just do it like that. You don't need to know why. Right, can I go back to bed now?
Not yet. There's a message from your mother. Will you call her for a chat? She's bored being stuck at home on her own.
Well, I spent 3 hours with her yesterday talking to her through the kitchen window. Can't you phone her?
No, she's your mother. Anyway, I've got that report to write for Karen at work, and there's these two to supervise.
Stop it, you two. Okay, what schoolwork do you still have to do?
I've got history to start and I got a science worksheet on electricity.
And I've got art in our room.
Right, here's what we'll do. Electricity, you say? Well, I suggest you plug in the Hoover and clean upstairs. Then there's a light bulb needs changing in the downstairs loo. And history. I know, you can phone your grandma and listen to her talk about the olden days for an hour. Okay, art. Right, you can give the garden fence a coat of creosote. Now something for Ari. Let me think.
Yeah, hello, Karen. Yes, I'm just about to... No, I'm not on the settee with my feet up watching Loose Woman. Yes, I know you're under a lot of pressure. Yes, I know how hard you work. No, I'm not taking advantage of your good nature. Yeah, it's just that my children are... Yes, I understand. Goodbye, Karen.
Ah! Dear Father who art in heaven, hear my prayer. Take pity on me in my hour of need and deliver me from this torture. Amen.
There you are, that's your RE sorted. Right, I think I'll put my feet up for an hour and not watch Loose Woman.
On trying to teach us history, the babies run through across the floor. This algebra's a mystery, no one can tell us what we learned it for. Dad said that he wishes he had listened more in school. He was always round the bike shed, just trying to look cool. Oh! There's got to be a better way than this. We're gonna have a twist.
I think we were all looking forward to return to school after that, weren't we?
I know my parents are really happy when the new school year started in September. Mum says she has a newfound admiration for teachers and can't believe what they put up with.
Haha, well, what can I say? We do try. But there were so many people in Lock Day who worked hard, even though there were risks, just to keep us ticking over.
I remember. It was like watching a whole new set of Marvel villains coming together to face a villain.
Yeah, COVID heroes, unite and fight. I reckon that would make a great film.
It certainly would.
Hello, Pathetic Roach. Allow us to introduce ourselves. Our name is Iris. Iris the Virus. It's okay, it's not the greatest name for a supervillain, but it is very much around the virus. I did consider monochroma. That is a bit like a wine and bottle of beer, which isn't very awe-inspiring.
The Big V was an option, but I figured people would think that we were a second-rate rapper, whereas we're more of a heavy metal fan. Louise the Disease, which was our mother's idea. Well, the less said about that, the better. So Iris the Virus is. Soon everyone will know our name. Soon everyone will know our names, and all will bow before us. As I wreak havoc, bringing Earth's inhabitants to their knees. Mo-ha-ha-ha!
Intruders have breached my defences. Who dare challenge me?
I and my fellow NHS workers will not cease in our efforts to keep people strong and healthy in the fight against you.
We will work tirelessly in hospital, surgery, and clinic, treating the ill and needy. We will not stop until we find a vaccine that will put the end to your wicked plan.
Curses, doctors and nurses, but it'll take more than you to defeat us. We're not just a threat to your health. The chaos that we have created will be the ruin of you.
The nation transport workers will make sure things keep moving. You might think you bring life to a grinding halt, Irish, but not on our watch.
This cannot be possible. I thought you humans had no backbone. You're supposed to crumble as I lose my devastating powers.
Well, that's where you're wrong. We'll keep building for our future, so when you're nothing but a distant memory, we shall still be standing strong.
And we will teach our future generations how we stood together until you are no more. Iris, time to face facts. You will be defeated. My fellow COVID heroes, unite and fight! Listen everyone, we are just the tip of the iceberg. Many millions more risk their own safety in the battle against you. And you yourself showed such bravery battling through hardship, loneliness and drastic change. Go on without your comforts and remaining steadfast throughout. And remember how you clap for the NHS? Oh, here's a chance to clap along with us again. Hit it!
Sometimes life can be tough and you feel like you've had enough of the bad stuff coming your way and you need some help today. Don't worry, if you're under attack, there are people watching your back and they're with you every step of the way, and they make the world a better place. Every one of them's a H-E-R-O. Yes, every one of them's a H-E-R-O. When things get too hot or you're in a tight spot, you're back to the wall and you know you can call on a H-E-R-O. Yes, every one of them's a H-E-R-O. Look right to the end to protect and defend. You can't wish for a better friend. Maybe there'll be a time when the mountain you gotta climb is so high you want to give up, 'cause the road is just too rough. Don't worry, someone's taking a stand and they'll give you a helping hand to get through all the strain and the stress. Will they stay the day? The answer's yes. Every one of them's a H-E-R-O. Yes, every one of them's a H-E-R-O. If things get too hot or you're in a tight spot, your back's to the wall and you know you can call on a H-E-R-O. Yes, every one of them's a H-E-R-O. They'll fight to the end to protect and defend. You can't wish for a better friend. H-E-R-O. Yes, every one of them's a H-E-R-O. If things get too hot or you're in a tight spot, you're back to the wall and you know you can call on a H-E-R-O. Yes, every one of them's a H-E-R-O.
my colleagues explained, there were so many heroes who had emerged during the pandemic.
A World War II veteran decided to raise money for charity by doing 100 laps in his garden.
And the story became national news. He was soon a household name with his fundraising slogans.
He completed his 100 laps in the 24 days running up to his birthday, and the money he raised went a little beyond the £1,000 he'd hoped for. Donations totalled up to over £30 million and is still going up now.
In recognition of his amazing efforts, he was made an honorary colonel, and on July 17, 2020, he became the Knight of Ram when Her Majesty the Queen asked him to arise Captain Sir Tom.
Sadly, the remarkable gentleman passed away February 2021, but the example he set us and inspiration he gave us to push through, to care for each other and to be positive will never be forgotten. Rest in peace, Captain Tom.
So join us in our uplifting song to celebrate the life and achievement of this great man.
Heroes come in different shapes and sizes, big and small and young and old as well. And no matter what your age, you still got part to play. So there's a story that we like to tell. See, down in England there lives such a hero, a soldier by the name of Captain Tom. And as the virus hit, he had to do his bit, and he put his magic boots right on. Captain Tom, Captain Tom, when others stopped, he just kept marching on. Up and down the garden until the race was won. Everybody raised a glass to Captain Tom. Now the more he walked, the more folk kept donating. The money that he raised just grew and grew. And at the final round, more than £30 million he gave to all the charities he knew. Now the army, they promoted him to colonel, and standing proudly pinned his medals on. And Her Majesty the Queen, like what she had seen, so she knighted him a rise Sir Tom. Captain Tom, Captain Tom, when others stopped, he just kept marching on. Up and down the garden until the race was won. Everybody raised a glass to Captain Tom. Now heroes, they will stay with us forever. The time will always come to say so long. And after 100 years of age, his final walk he made. Rest in peace and thanks a million, Captain Tom. Captain Tom, Captain Tom, when others stopped, he just kept marching on. Up and down the garden until the race was won. Everybody raised a glass to Captain Tom. Everybody raised a glass to Captain Tom. Everybody raised a glass to Captain Tom.
Well, we certainly needed inspirational characters like that to give us a lift through lockdown, didn't we?
Ha! It's a shame they couldn't inspire us of common sense into some people. Do you remember what happened at the supermarket?
Yeah, panic buying. What was all that about? If you didn't get to the supermarket super early, there wasn't anything left on the shelves.
Apart from broccoli, and who wants to eat that? Ugh.
Why did everyone suddenly start stocking up on toilet roll? I read a bit about coronavirus, and now because I find that one of its symptoms is an increased need to go to the loo.
We went weeks without any. We even had to use kitchen roll until that ran out too.
Then what did you do?
You don't want to know.
Mum, when's Dad getting me home? It's way past dinner time and I'm starving.
I'm sure you won't be long now. Then we can have dinner. It's going to be fish fingers, chips, and beans tonight.
Yes, my favourite. You can't beat fish fingers, chips and beans.
And if you get those deluxe creamy yogurts I like for pudding, and a bottle of Coke, it's Friday, remember? We're allowed Coke on Friday.
Well, they were the shopping list I gave him, so I expect so. Crikey, love, what on earth has happened to you?
Have you been run over, Dad? Have you been mugged?
Have you been attacked by next door Jack Russell again? No, not that. I've been to Tesco's.
Yes, we know that. I sent you there with a list 2 hours ago. How could you get yourself a mistake store in Tesco?
You don't know what it's like out there. Ever since they've announced this lockdown, the world's gone mad. It's every man for himself. They're stripping the supermarket shelves of everything. There's frozen in the aisles. I don't know how I managed to get out of there alive.
That sounds horrible, Dad. But did you manage to get out of there? Fish fingers, chips and beans?
Deluxe creamy yogurt and a bottle of Coke. I got what was on the list. More or less.
More or less? What do you mean? Did you or didn't you?
I tried my best to make sure that we have fish fingers, chips and beans for dinner, with yogurt for pudding and Coke to drink. Salter. It's going to take a little bit of imagination, okay? Now, I know it wasn't on the list, but I've been thinking for a long time now that we haven't eaten enough green veg. And there was plenty of broccoli and peas left in the shop. So,
That sounds disgusting. What about the stuff you were supposed to get? Oven chips?
yes, oven chips. They'd ran out of those, but they had parsnips. If we cut them up, brush them with oil, and oven bake them, ta-da, chips!
You're joking. I'll just stick to the fish fingers and baked beans.
Yes, beans. They'd ran out of those too, so I thought lovely chickpeas and tomato puree.
Dad, that's gross. At least tell me you got the fish fingers.
Technically, yes, we have fish fingers. Maybe not quite what we used to, but fingers of fish nonetheless. I managed to get 4 tins of sardines. If we mush them up and roll them into finger-sized portions, and here's the best bit, they don't need cooking. We can eat them cold.
That's disgusting.
At least tell me you managed to get the yogurts.
Yes, yogurts. See? Look, I managed to get the last 2 litres of milk left in the shop, and the good thing is they've gone off. If we leave them in a hot place for a while, we can... Hey, presto, yogurt.
That's disgusting.
Well, what about the Coke? Let me guess. You got some oxy cubes. I'm sure you can pop one into a bottle of sparkling water and do a Coke shake.
Great minds think alike. Love? I'm sorry, everyone. I tried my best to make sure that we had fish fingers, chips and beans, with Coke and yogurt.
We know it's not your fault, but I'd have to try your best. Okay, I suppose you can get a takeaway. I think I saw in the news that they're going to stay open. I'll give the Chinese a ring, shall I?
Yes! Chinese!
Great idea. Now, Dad, what's in your bag?
See? I managed to pick these up from newsagents on the way home. 20 copies of today's Daily News.
And what, may I ask, are we supposed to do with these? It's not an attempt to get us to read more rather than being on our screens, is it?
Well, there was one thing left on the shopping list that wasn't there.
What was that?
Ta-da! New roll.
This is a staff announcement. Remember, it starts tomorrow 12. We seem to have run out of food again.
We're here at the local shop. The
and very confusing. It changed all the time.
Ha! It seems even experts don't agree all the time. The thing is, if they can't make their minds up, how are you supposed to know what to do?
The shops were open, then they were closed, and then they were open again.
We couldn't go to restaurants, then we had to eat out to help out. Then again, we couldn't do that.
We couldn't play sports. Then we could, but only outside. But we couldn't go watch our favourite teams play. I couldn't keep up.
And the whole thing about bubbles and tears, who you could see, where you could see them, and for how long. I really don't envy the people who had to stand up week after week in front of cameras to update the nation.
Here we go again. I didn't get any sleep last night worrying about this.
Me neither. It seems that every week we have to tell the people something different to do to stop this virus spreading.
Maybe we're just not making things clear enough for them. Don't leave the house unless you have to leave the house. Don't go to work unless you have to go to work.
You can make some people with bubble 6 unless there's an hour in the month that it hasn't rained for 3 days. Then there's tears. You're in this tier, they're in that tier. This whole thing's happy in tears.
Which is why we need a different approach. So, did you manage to read the document I prepared? Do you think it'll work?
Well, it's worth a try. It can't do any harm.
It's certainly radical, I'll give you that. We might as well give it a shot.
Okay then, let's do this.
Thank you everybody for joining us at today's COVID briefing. As you all know, the situation with regards to this virus remains serious.
We understand that the instructions we have previously given may have left many of you unsure about what you need to do next.
However, while we wait for the next set of scientific findings from which we will come up with another set of instructions for you, there are 3 things we need you to do. 3 things which will remain the same since the beginning of this.
And we would really like to reinforce these just so you are in no doubt. Firstly, wash your hands at every opportunity, as you know you can pick up the virus from infected surfaces. Secondly, keep a 2-meter distance from people when you leave your house for essential activity.
And thirdly, wear masks to reduce the risk of transmitting contracted virus really rare. And we have said these before, but many people still don't seem to understand.
So, to shake things up a little bit, to make the message a little more funky and groovy, especially for you younger, cooler dudes out there, let's, in a socially distanced manner, of course, rock!
Give me an A! A! Give me an O! O! Give me a C! C! Give me a K! K! What have we got? Rock! I can't hear you! Rock!
Hey! Yeah! Hey! We're heading into lockdown for our security. There's gonna be some changes to the lives we used to lead. Come on! Hey! Yes, we see the reason, we understandable. But all the same, it's still a pain, it just ain't rock and roll. Come on! Hey! But if we're gonna get through it, we just gotta do it. Hey! And if we're pulling together, the storm we can weather, it's all for one and one for all. Yeah! Put that mask on your face. Give each other some space. Wash your hands every chance you get. We'll beat this yet. Have no sweat.
Hey, back off man, social distancing, remember? Oh yes, silly me. Well, my word, that was energetic. I almost got a bit carried away there. Look, I even took my tie off. Rock and roll.
Surely after that performance, you'll need some refreshment. So we've laid on cups of tea and biscuit backstage if you'd like to join us.
That's very kind of you, but we'll pass. Gotta keep safe, right?
Yes, well, I think that worked very well indeed. So, same time next week.
Can't wait.
I think that we found that having a sense of humour certainly helps us cope through lockdown, doesn't it?
But you should not forget that the pandemic and the lockdowns was very devastating.
Jobs have been lost, livelihoods have been ruined, and families are struggling to adapt to new changes.
This afternoon we've taken a look at some of the lockdown restrictions in a very light-hearted way.
The effects of social distancing have led us to loneliness, isolation and depression for many vulnerable people. In our efforts to shield older family members, we have often gone months without seeing the ones they loved.
And of course, lives have been lost. Some of us may have been more personally affected by this than others, but as individuals, families, a school, a community, a nation and the world, we have all been touched by what's happened.
So, let's take a moment to think about and remember those who throughout these difficult times have paid the highest price.
My favorite thing is about pandemic that I go home and spend more time with my family.
During lockdown, I enjoyed camping in my nan's garden with my family and being woken up by the baby.
My favourite thing about the pandemic was when I did a live lessons with my teachers and stayed home and relaxed with my two cheeky sisters. And my least favourite was COVID-19 ruined the time when I didn't see my friends and I miss going holiday to see my beloved ones.
My favourite thing about COVID was that I got to see my family, but my least favourite thing about COVID was that I couldn't see my friends.
My favourite thing about the pandemic is that I got to spend time with my granddad and play lots of games with him. I got to watch movies with my mum, my grandma and granddad. It was so fun. And I also got to spend time with my guinea pigs.
I believe there is a place in my heart. I can go there when I please. It is filled with the things that I love and memories I keep. I believe there is a place in my heart, and I go there when I choose. I can see all the things that I love, and that's where I see you. Even though you had to go, still we see your light. In my heart we're not apart, we fly so high, we fly so high.
Come on, let's try and finish on something positive, shall we? So, what has gave us hope through lockdown? Any ideas?
The vaccine is the light at the end of this tunnel.
What a fantastic job those scientists did. How hard they worked to get it done so quickly.
I bet there was some celebration in the laboratory on the day they made a breakthrough. I wish I'd been a fly on the wall.
Hello YouTube. You join us at the lab. We're having a party. We've done it. Yay! The final test results are back. And ladies and gentlemen, we have an effective vaccine. Needless to say, we're all very jolly. Let's get a reaction from Professor Hans Facenspace, who co-led this research. Professor Hans Facenspace, tell us how you're feeling.
Hello everyone. Yes, it's been a crazy few months, but we have the finish line in sight. And we're celebrating!
Hey Pamela, say hello to YouTube. Come on Pam, don't be shy. The great Professor Pandemic, everyone. Without his efforts, we wouldn't be here.
Hi, well yes, it's been an amazing breakthrough, but we're only doing our jobs, it's just what we do.
And this is where it all happened. We've been locked in the lab 24/7 and we haven't seen daylight for months. But now we can relax a little. And some of us seem a little more relaxed than others. Right, we have some loose ends to tie up before we send this vaccine off to the manufacturers. So it's goodbye from the lab. Professor Facenspace, Professor Demick, let's crack on.
Hang on. Where is it? I left it here, like, right here.
What the? You gotta be kidding me. After all that hard work, you've lost it.
Don't blame me. I left it here, right here.
What's happening? I've given up my life to work on this. I haven't seen my children in a year, you idiots.
Who are you calling an idiot? I have a PhD from Oxford University.
And I've been nominated 3 times for a Nobel Prize. If anyone's an idiot, it's you.
It's your fault.
No, it's your fault. You're the one that wanted the party.
Oh, so you're awake, are you?
And what are you sniggering at? This isn't funny.
Oh my goodness, you should have seen your faces. It's hilarious. This is definitely going on YouTube.
Excuse me, have you lost your marbles?
Are you for real? Do you even know what's happening here? We've lost the formula.
And you're going to stick this disaster on YouTube. Stop filming at once.
Relax, you've just been pranked. Oh, your faces. Comedy gold. We haven't lost the formula. It's right here in my pocket. At least I thought it was. Oh no, it must have fallen out when we went to buy more champagne.
You idiot!
Haha, only kidding. We haven't lost the formula. It's right here, safe and sound. But really, your faces.
You pranked us! Why would you prank us?
Oh come on, it's just a little bit of humour. And anyways, now people will see that scientists aren't boring. That we do have a sense of humour. Guys, come on, sense of humour? Surely you can see the funny side. Yes? No? Oh cripes.
Ha! Talk about looks on faces. Did you see hers?
Is she right though? Do people think us scientists are a boring bunch? How can we change that?
By singing a song and sticking it on YouTube. Come on, gang. Let's show the world there's more to us than meets the eye.
So which jab did you have? Pfizer or AstraZeneca?
Well, can't you see I'm way too young for AstraZeneca?
Every gender, a clever fella, notice people were very well apart from all those milking maids. Did catch smallpox, very strange. He had a notion and made a potion, caused a scientific commotion, a way to keep us safe from harm. They had a shot in the arm. They found a vaccine for COVID-19. We're over the pasties and send it on its way. Arrivederci, au revoir, oh jubilation and celebration. Because with just a little break, we won't get sick, and that will be the end to it.
Let me say it again. Wow, what a year it's been. Such extraordinary experiences people live through. One day, children like you will learn about our experiences in their history lessons.
Well, it's been like our own blitz, isn't it? Everyone standing together in the face of a common enemy.
And when it's properly over, maybe we'll notice that things have changed for the better. Maybe we'll all learn to appreciate what we have and not take anyone or anything for granted.
And we'll make most of the opportunities and do all those things we wanted and be with all those people we've missed since the break started.
My favourite activity during lockdown is baking with my mum. In the pandemic, I miss going on holiday and seeing my nan. I loved doing arts and crafts with my mum while we were at home.
My favourite thing about the pandemic was that I did not have to go to school and I didn't have to stress about anything, and I could play video games all day than I usually do. And I loved going on bike rides with my mum.
My favourite thing about the first pandemic was that I didn't get to go to school and my worst thing about the first pandemic was that I didn't get to see my friends.
The corona pandemic is not the first pandemic the world is facing, but it is the one that will have lasting effects on every person, every nation, especially children and youth. During this pandemic, millions of people would unfortunately die. But looking at the positive side, we will see that humans have found a vaccine that would prevent the spread of COVID-19. It will also balance the amount of people around the world. And during lockdowns, I had a great opportunity to improve my home language and some more things that I wasn't good at. It also gave me an opportunity to online classes for 1 whole year. We had to wake up early, check all our notes were written, and put on our uniforms and sit in front of the laptop. So I think that COVID-19 has a good and bad impact on the world.
I miss my football and friends. I spent a lot of time outside with my family.
So, all that's left to say is thank you everybody for joining us this evening, virtually. At last we can all be together again. Here's to the future and finally being able to explore our possibilities, to imagine all that we can be. Now, let's lift the roof off of this place!
They said you wouldn't make it so far, and ever since they said it, it's been hard. But never mind the nights you had to cry, 'cause you had never let it go inside. You worked real hard and you know exactly what you want and need. So believe, and you can never give up. You can reach your goals. Just talk to your soul and